Greetings, Missouri Mid-South Conference. I bring you greetings this week from St. Peter's United Church of Christ in Washington, Missouri, where I have had the pleasure of meeting with the Eastern Association Committee on Ministry this morning. And since I had some emails to answer and some calls to make, I thought that it would be fun to bring you greetings from here in the atrium of St. Peter's. For they are wonderful hosts and offer great hospitality to the Eastern Association for the Eastern Association Council meetings and for our Committee on Ministry meetings and other ministries in that way for the Missouri Mid-South Conference. Today I want to offer support to two of our ministers of the Missouri Mid-South Conference, the Reverend Dr. Vernon Howard and the Reverend Nia Chandler, both of St. Mark's Union UCC in Kansas City. In 2014, they protested along with 21 other ministers in the Kansas City area regarding the state of Missouri's decision not to expand Medicaid to the poorest in Missouri. And Missouri was one of 19 states that chose not to expand Medicaid because of the Affordable Care Act. In that, they protested in the gallery of the Missouri legislature, and they were arrested and released. The prosecutor of the time of that county chose to have a court trial to bring those charges of those 23 ministers forward. And this past week, Reverend Chandler and Reverend Dr. Howard, Reverend Sam Mann, Reverend Tex Sample, and other ministers from Kansas City were indeed on trial in Jefferson City. In some ways, we all scratched our head and thought, there's no way this can go to trial. There's no way that they can be found guilty for doing something that people of many different expressions often do, which is protest in a way that is fitting of our freedom as Americans. Unfortunately, this trial did proceed, and the jury of this trial found that they were both innocent and guilty. Today, Thursday, they were found innocent of obstruction charges, but they were found guilty of trespassing, and they were sentenced to $500 fine and no jail time, which we are extremely grateful for. As I was talking last night to Dr. Howard and as I was messaging with Reverend Chandler, and as I was imagining for myself how they were feeling, what they were doing, and the legacy that they continue to bear of those who seek to stand with and protest for those who are marginalized in society. From our rabbi and teacher and spiritual leader, Jesus and Mahatma Gandhi and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, each one facing danger and risk. And so too, Dr. Howard and Reverend Chandler faced the possibility last night of wondering if they would be going to jail, maybe for one day, maybe for 1 week, and what that meant for their families, for their church, and for their ministry. And I have to tell you that I was deeply impressed and respectful of both of them, that although they shared their concern and their befuddlement that this could happen, their deep commitment that God calls us to stand on the side of justice, and that justice, divine justice from the Hebrew and the Christian scriptures, is to stand for and advocate with those who are voiceless in our society, those who have no power, those who have no health care, that when we do that, we are on the side of God's love. And so I give thanks today for our spiritual teachers, such as these 23 ministers who remind us that our role is not just to find the scriptures of the sacred stories of justice and God's presence in prophetic love. Our role is not just to name it and advocate it for it as the conference or the United Church of Christ. Our role is to protest and to be in the places where there is discomfort and there is frustration and there is doubt and there is anger. For when we are in those places where the voiceless have no power, we are indeed embodying the very justice that is divine. So today I give thanks that the Missouri Mid-South Conference of the United Church of Christ has indeed been in the gallery of our state legislature, and it has been in the very streets and doctors' offices for people who do not have health insurance and who have not been granted Medicaid, but indeed in divine justice, they will have God's presence and strength and courage and love, and they will have our presence and voice and power that demands that their needs and their rights be given as well. For this, as one of our 5 mission imperatives to strengthen the congregations of our conference, this day, Reverend Chandler and Reverend Dr. Howard have done that. And for that, we give thanks. May divine justice be with us, nudging us, making us uncomfortable, and helping us to speak out in places and with people who yearn for divine justice, this day and forevermore. Amen.